Hi, I'm Chris Howard from the Howard Woodwind Company, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to make an adjustment on the low EF mechanism on the soprano clarinet. This is a quick adjustment that instruments come into my shop on a regular basis for, and it's a really handy one to know how to do yourself. With a little bit of practice is not particularly difficult. So uh, what's happening here on this instrument is when I press this low E lever right here, you can see that there's still quite a bit of play. There's actually a lot of extra play in the CF pad cup. Well, this is more often than not, this is what's happening when these two cups, key cups aren't aligned. They have to close at the exact same time in order for you to be able to play the middle B or the low E with just one finger and not having to add that extra pinky key to get that note to come out. So what we've got to do is get this key cup to sit just a little bit further down on the instrument. So the way you're going to do that is you're going to, well, first to check it, you're going to take, this is just a little piece of pad cleaning paper that I cut into a thin strip, and I use it as what's called a feeler gauge. You're going to slide your feeler gauge underneath one pad, and you're going to give it a little tug. Do you feel resistance? You should. Then you're going to check the other pad, and there's no pull at all as I pull that out. Now it's really obvious. You can just tell by tapping on this key that these two cups aren't closing at the same time. But sometimes it'll be so close that you can't tell that way, and you want to use your feeler gauge to check it and see which one is too high or too low. So to get this key cup to come down just a little bit, what I'm going to do is right under here, you have what is called the crow's foot on the clarinet. So I'm going to brace that with my left thumb. I'm going to put my left thumb and push gently up on that crow's foot. And then with my right thumb, I'm going to push down right on the center of the key arm here. Okay, so until I just feel it move a little bit, which I did. So you're not really, I said push up, really you're just making sure that you brace it firmly and then you push down on the C cup. So now I'm going to see how I did. I'm going to check with the feeler gauge again, and I've got a good amount of resistance, plenty of tug there on the bottom key cup. So it's better, but it's definitely still not quite all the way there. So I'm going to try it one more time. Okay, now I've definitely got some resistance on that feeler gauge. And I've got it on the bottom pad also. So that tells me, and you can check the sides and the back too, to make sure that the key cup isn't bent to the right or left. Okay, so now you can see that these two are closing at exactly the same time. So the other thing you can do, just to as a little bit of a insurance, is do what's called a suction test on it. And this clarinet is actually in for an overhaul right now, so you can actually probably see in the video that the pads are torn and you're not getting great suction, but those two pads are perfectly aligned now and will seal and will respond when you try to play just the one finger F or B. Now there are times where the B key might be just a little bit high. When that happens, you're going to do the same thing. If the B key is too high, in fact, let's go ahead and make it that way. I'm going to go just a little too far here with my adjustment on the C. Okay. A little more. And this will all get really carefully, properly adjusted during the overhaul. But if I wanted to align this B key with the C key, because right now I've got plenty of pull, plenty of resistance on my C key. And down here on the B, there's no resistance at all. So there are two things I can do. I can either raise the C up or I can bring the B back down. First, I'm going to show you to raise the C back up. This one's really easy. You're just going to take your key and you're going to push down a little harder than you normally would. And that should lift your key cup right back up into position, which it did. If for some reason you did need to move this B down, then you're going to do the same thing you did on the C. You're going to brace with your left thumb, the crow's foot, and you're going to push very carefully right in the center of the B key to bring it down just a little bit. And that's all there is to it. Please let me know if you have any questions. And other than that, happy clarinetting, and thanks very much.